Have you ever noticed small, subtle changes in yourself or a loved one that made you pause and wonder, is this just part of aging or is it something more? Maybe it's a sudden lack of interest in a lifelong hobby or a quiet withdrawal from conversations that used to spark joy. These shifts can feel confusing, even scary, but understanding them can bring clarity and peace. Today, we're talking about 5 subtle signs that may indicate an elderly person is entering their final year. Now, let me be clear, this isn't about fear or pessimism, it's about awareness. So you can cherish moments, make informed decisions, and ensure comfort and dignity for yourself or someone you love. We'll start with the first 2 signs, which often fly under the radar but carry profound meaning. Let's begin with a shift that's deeply personal but rarely discussed. Imagine this: your dad, who spent decades tending his rose garden, suddenly stops pruning his prized blooms. Or your mom, who never missed her weekly book club, now leaves novels gathering dust on the shelf. This isn't just getting older, it's a profound withdrawal from life's joys. And it's often one of the first signs that something deeper is unfolding. A viewer named Carol shared her story. My grandfather stopped fishing, a passion he'd had for 70 years. At first, we thought he was just tired, but looking back, it was his way of telling us he was ready. Now, this doesn't mean every hobby skipped is a red flag, but when someone consistently loses interest in everything that once lit them up, gardening, grandkids, even favorite foods, it's worth paying attention. Why does this happen? Sometimes it's the body conserving energy. Other times, it's a quiet, emotional preparation. Whatever the cause, the key is to respond with love, not pressure. Instead of urging them to snap out of it, try sitting with them, reminiscing, or simply holding space for their feelings. Now, the second sign is one that's easy to dismiss as normal aging, but it's far more significant than we realize. We all know metabolism slows with age, but drastic, unintentional weight loss, say 10% of body weight in 6 months, is a signal we can't ignore. It's not just about eating less. It's often a sign the body is shifting priorities. Take my friend Arthur, for example. At 88, he began refusing his beloved Sunday pancakes. His daughter thought he was just being stubborn, until his doctor explained his body was naturally slowing down. Why does this happen? Organs like the kidneys and liver start to function less efficiently, altering how the body processes nutrients. Food might even taste off, as senses dull. If you notice this in someone you love, don't panic. Instead, focus on comfort. Offer small, nutrient-dense meals. Think avocado slices, nut butter, or protein shakes. And remember, sometimes a single bite of a favorite dessert matters more than a full plate. It's not about the food, it's about the connection. These first 2 signs, losing interest in passions and changes in eating habits, are gentle whispers from the body and spirit. They're not meant to alarm us, but to guide us toward deeper compassion and presence. In the next part, we'll explore more signs, including shifts in sleep patterns and social behavior and how to navigate them with grace. But for now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed these subtle changes in yourself or a loved one? How did you respond? Share your stories below. Your wisdom might comfort someone else on this journey. Remember, knowledge isn't meant to scare us. It's here to help us love more fully, listen more deeply, and honor every chapter of life, even the hardest ones. After our last conversation, I received so many heartfelt messages. One that stood out was from Diane, who wrote, "My mom stopped eating her famous apple pie, and I didn't realize it was a sign. Now I sit with her, even if she just sips tea." It's these small acts of love that make all the difference. Today, let's explore 2 more subtle signs that often go unnoticed, but when understood, can help us respond with even greater kindness. Have you noticed a loved one napping more during the day than lying awake for hours at night? Or maybe they've started waking up disoriented, unsure if it's morning or evening. These aren't just senior moments. They're often clues the body is conserving energy for what matters most. Take my neighbor, Mrs. Thompson. At 92, she began sleeping through family visits, only to hum old hymns quietly at 3 a.m. Her daughter worried she was giving up, but her doctor explained that as the body slows, sleep cycles can invert. Why does this happen? The production of melatonin, the hormone regulating sleep, diminishes with age, and the body's internal clock may drift. If this resonates, here's what you can do. Follow their rhythm. If they're alert at midnight, share a story or play soft music instead of insisting they sleep. Create comfort. Use nightlights to ease confusion or try weighted blankets for restlessness. Let go of schedules. Sometimes peace matters more than a strict routine. Now, the fourth sign is one that's easy to misinterpret, but it speaks volumes about the heart's quiet journey. Imagine this. Your lifelong friend who once hosted lively card games now nods silently during calls. Or your dad, who always asked about your day, seems distant even when you're in the same room. This isn't rudeness. It's often a gradual retreat into inner reflection. A viewer named Paul shared, "My wife stopped talking to her sister. I thought she was angry. Turns out she was conserving energy to say goodbye." Why does this happen? For some, socializing becomes overwhelming as the body prioritizes essential functions. For others, it's a way to process memories or emotions. Whatever the reason, respect their pace. Instead of pushing for conversation, try sitting in silence together. Your presence alone can be a comfort. Using touch. A handhold or gentle shoulder squeeze often says more than words. Sharing memories. Play old photos or favorite songs. They might not respond, but they'll feel the love. These two signs, sleep changes and social withdrawal, can feel unsettling, but they're part of life's natural rhythm. They remind us to slow down, listen deeply, and cherish the quiet moments as much as the loud ones. In our final part, we'll explore the fifth sign, which is perhaps the most tender of all, and how to navigate this time with grace. Until then, I'd love to hear from you. Have you found ways to connect when words aren't enough? What brings you peace in these moments? Your stories are a beacon of hope for others walking this path. Remember, this isn't about fixing or changing anything. It's about being there fully, gently, and with an open heart. Over these last few weeks, your stories have touched me deeply, like Margaret, who wrote, "Mom stopped speaking, but she still lights up when I rub her feet." Or James, who shared, "Dad hums his old work songs at 2 a.m. It's our secret time now." These moments remind us that even in life's twilight, there's beauty to be found. Today, we'll explore the final sign, one that invites us to listen not just with our ears, but with our hearts. Have you noticed a loved one suddenly recounting childhood stories, revisiting old photo albums, or mentioning long-gone relatives? This isn't mere nostalgia. For many, it's a gentle preparation, a way to weave together the tapestry of their life. Take my grandmother, for instance. In her final months, she'd describe her first dance in vivid detail. The lilac dress she wore, the way the porch light caught her partner's smile. At first, I worried she was confused, but her doctor explained the mind often revisits core memories as it prepares to let go. If this happens, lean in, ask questions. What did the air smell like that day? Or how did you feel when you held Mom for the first time? These conversations are gifts, a chance to preserve their legacy and affirm that their life mattered. And if they mention seeing loved ones who've passed, don't correct them. Simply say, "Tell me about them." Peace often lives in those moments. Now, let's pause and breathe. These 5 signs, Losing interest in hobbies, changes in appetite and sleep, social withdrawal, and memory-centered conversations are not a checklist. They're gentle whispers, asking us to slow down and cherish what's here. If you're walking this path, remember, there's no right way to respond. Your presence is enough. Small comforts matter. A favorite blanket, a whispered song, a hand to hold. You're not alone. So many of us are right here with you, learning as we go. And if you're seeing these signs in yourself, honor your journey. Write letters, record stories, or simply rest. Your life has been a masterpiece. Every chapter, every scar, every laugh. Before we say goodbye, I want to leave you with this. Aging isn't about the number of years we live, but the love we leave behind. Whether you're caring for someone or reflecting on your own journey, know that every moment of kindness, every shared silence, every tear wiped away, it all matters. To our community, your stories in the comments have been a lifeline for so many. Keep sharing them, keep asking questions, and if this video resonated with you, please hit subscribe. We're building a space where no one has to walk this road alone. As the poet Mary Oliver once wrote, to live in this world, you must be able to do three things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it, and when the time comes, to let it go. Here's to loving fiercely, holding gently, and finding grace in every season. Thank you for being here.